Hello, everyone. I've got a somewhat small, if you can call six large candles small, um, purchase here for you today that I made yesterday at Bath& Body Works Fall Festival. I went to a local test store where they have some of the holiday and winter scents out early. So I wanted to go over and with you what I purchased. Nothing super exciting, no crazy test scents here aside from the ones that you see as repurchases that I've already purchased in the past couple of weeks that I got a couple more of. But I figured I would show you what I purchased and go through them and talk about the few that I haven't reviewed before, even if they are returning favorites. So I usually do my videos in the evening, so right now it's pretty sunny, so I'm trying to get a good angle here so that I'm not working with backlighting, which is a little bit tough because of the way the sun is shining. So I do apologize if it's a little bit dark to actually see the candles, but I will show them closer up as I go through them and review them. So as you can see, I did two purchases. I used, of course, survey coupons. It was 2 for 20 sale, so really this all only was a little bit over $40 with tax, which was really great. And as far as this single wick here, I had a coupon for a free single wick candle, so that was where that came from. So I didn't purchase that one. It was from a survey that they had, they were handing out over the past couple of weeks that the thank you for doing the survey was a free single wick candle of your choice. So that's what I went with, since that's a test scent that doesn't seem to be going wide. So I'll go through these, but first I wanted to share a little bit of info that I received actually that is pretty interesting. While I was there, I spoke with someone who I believe is from corporate. She was dressed in regular clothing. She wasn't in Bath and Body Works uniform. She didn't have a name tag, anything like that. And this is the only test store in may even be only one in the Northeast entirely, but at least only one in the tri-state area. And so with Slatkin and Co., supposedly the headquarters were on Broadway in New York City. That's at least the address on the candle. I'm not sure if they operate there for home fragrance and with the rest of Bath & Body Works in Ohio or not. But I've spoken with a few people that seem to be either from corporate or from planning or marketing or something in the past at that test store that aren't regular full-time employees or not necessarily even district managers. I'm not really sure. They haven't identified themselves to me, but that's what it seemed. But what she said, she came up to me and asked what scents were my favorite, and I told her that I really liked the conceptual ones and that I really was enjoying Snowed In and sort of that line. She asked if I'd smelled Sweater Weather, and I said yes, I loved it. And she said, oh yes, that one is a test scent. She confirmed, which we basically knew. But when I looked around, there were really only maybe 5 or 6 of them left in the store. So I was thinking, if it's this late in the season and she confirmed that it's still a test scent, she seemed to imply that if I liked it, to grab it. So I actually purchased 2 more of those. I was going to get some other holiday returnings like Cranberry Pear Bellini or Merry Mistletoe, but since we know those will be available and will most likely go nationwide, I wanted to grab a couple Sweater Weathers because I love the scent, and it seems like it may not be going to all stores, which is a shame. Doesn't mean we won't see it in the future, and that's, again, not confirmed information, but that's sort of what I got from what she had said. Along with that, she said, she asked if I had smelled Sparkling Icicles, and I told her I had and that I really, really loved it. Unfortunately, they didn't have any left in the store, actually, because I asked one of the sales associates, and she said they sold out of it, but they're getting it back in. And the woman, again, who I spoke with, that I believe is from corporate, mentioned that Sparkling Icicles is also a test scent. So it's good to know that if it's something that it sounds like you really like, you should get on it, because it may or may not release to all stores once the full line of the whatever that falls in, like the Sparkling Night, Sparkling Drinks collection, once that goes wide sometime in October. And the last bit of information that I was most excited about was she told me, she said, if I liked sort of the Sweater Weather, Snowed In kind of scents, she mentioned the Forest collection, which we've heard a bit about. Little Balladeer has had them. She reviewed some in one of her recent videos. And I actually placed a phone order with the Ohio store to get some of those in as well, because I was worried that maybe it would be a test line that wasn't going to go outside of just that main flagship store. So I'll have that probably sometime in the next 6 to 10 days, a full review on those for you. But what she mentioned, she actually brought those up to me. She said, that they're going to be releasing a limited or exclusive, something along those lines. They'll be releasing a line of 7 candles, the Forest collection. And she said that Bath & Body Works chairman said that they're the best collection of candles that they've ever released, which I thought was interesting that he went so far to say that. And she said they have new sort of dark brushed metal lids that look really special, and she said that the forest collection is actually inspired by the Allegheny National Forest, which I think is pretty interesting. The Allegheny National Forest is in northwestern Pennsylvania. I looked it up. It's something around 51,000 acres, which I think for a national forest, national park, is actually not on the larger side of things. But it's a very old one from, I believe, the 1800s. It was established sometime, I think, in the 1800s, early 1900s, as a national forest. So I think it's really cool that they're doing it based on sort of the trees and foliage and greens and plants that you would find in a specific forest that's indigenous to the northeast of America. So, and it makes sense that the headquarters of Bath and Body Works are in Ohio, a few short hours from northwestern Pennsylvania and the Allegheny Forest. So the collection I don't think is going to be called the Allegheny Forest Collection. That would be surprising. But she said it was based off of the Allegheny Forest, which I thought was pretty cool. So we've got those 7 cents. And she said that they'll be coming to other test stores, or at least the one I was at, October 7th. She said Columbus Day weekend is when they'll be launching tentatively in other test stores. So that's pretty exciting. Again, not nationwide yet, but perhaps if they do well in test stores, they'll take them wider, or take a few of them. And that would be my guess, is that it might be something along the lines of last year they had, I believe they called it the Passport Collection, which I should do a review on. I think I have maybe 3 of the 5, but it's not super exciting. But Passport Collection, or some international collection, I think it was Passport though, was the very original Peruvian black pepper and bergamot, Indian mahogany and teakwood, Tahitian vanilla embers, sandalwood, and then Himalayan chai. And of those 5 scents, 2 of them, the most popular, went wide last winter, which you knew as black pepper and bergamot and mahogany teakwood, also mahogany leather in some markets. And then, of course, they came back big this fall, straight up as black pepper bergamot and mahogany teakwood. So it's certainly one of those things where they could be testing the 7 Forest Collection candles, and maybe the best 2 or 3 will just come out sometime late this year, in addition to the holiday scents. Again, I'm just going on what they've done in the past, what they may do. No clue if that's what will really happen. Maybe all 7 will come out, maybe none will come out. It really depends on a million factors that I know nothing about. So, but that being said, we have that to look forward to in some of the test stores. That they will be going at least outside of the main test store in Ohio within the next 3 weeks or so. So that's pretty exciting. But also stay tuned. I will have a full video and review of 6 of the 7 scents, probably sometime late next week or early the week after that. And so we'll see where we go. So you see here my haul, not super crazy or exciting, but started with I repurchased Cedarwood Oak, which I really, really love. Or actually, let's start up here so I can grab them and show you. It was interesting. The as most people knew, at the Bath and Body Works fall, what do they call it? The fall harvest event. If you spent $10 on a home fragrance item, they would give you a free pumpkin carving 4-ounce candle in a little drawstring bag, and they even included what was pretty sweet. It was a little actual real pumpkin, so that was nice of them. So I got 2 of those. They did say, I believe, on the pack or the original ad or coupon that it was 1 per customer. I suppose because they weren't sold out of them by 3-4 o'clock, and they had plenty of them, and I did 2 transactions. I think that's why they did 2. So if you were doing separate transactions, I guess they would throw in a couple of them. I don't know if that was on purpose or a mistake, but I welcomed it because I love the pumpkin carving candle, and I wasn't gonna turn it down because it didn't seem like anything where people were getting turned away that they weren't having enough or anything like that. So I was happy to get 2 of those. So that's why you see 2 pumpkins here. So anyhow, first I got, with the free coupon I had, Blueberry Pumpkin Patch, which is a scent. I actually haven't burned it yet in the 3-wick that I have. I'm starting to really enjoy it because it is a sweet blueberry scent, very unique, not something that I would have ever thought that they should release, but it's interesting. It seems like the 5 candles, you'll see in my past, maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, review, the Blueberry Pumpkin Patch, Toffee Glazed Popcorn, Chocolate Bacon Cupcake, farm apple cookie, and roasted pumpkin butter seem to not be going wide. I think they must have been a test line that maybe we'll see sometime again next year. Because the reason I say that is because they don't seem to be getting new stock in the test store that I go to. I've gone there fairly regularly over the past month or so, and this last time I went yesterday, they had some blueberry pumpkin patch candles, some farm apple cookies. The most they had were the toffee glazed popcorn candles because they're not very good. But they had no roasted pumpkin butter in any size and no chocolate bacon cupcake in any size. So I'm not sure what's happening with those, but the fact that they're not getting more in and they had very limited in a few of the few remaining scents makes me think that they're probably not going to release wide or have a new batch come in. Could be completely wrong, but that's what I think. Just quickly, this is straight up pumpkins with ripened blueberries and vanilla praline. Nice scent. I got it because I don't have it in the 4-ounce, and since I had the free coupon, rather than getting something that I could find anywhere or that I already had a couple of, I figured I'd take this test scent that may end up being something that's fairly limited in the future. So that was that. Then my first purchase of 3 candles is the classic, one of the first Slatkin & Co. or now White Barn candles that I ever purchased 3 years ago, Fireside, which you can never go wrong with Fireside. The ultimate strong, heavy, woody, masculine scent for fall and winter. The notes on it this year are a cozy blend of cedarwood, leather, and rich, deep amber that warms your spirits like an evening by a crackling fire on a dark winter's night. So this year it's being released under the White Barn label. Just got what you'd expect here as the label, just a crackling fire. The wax last year and the past few years it's been a dark brown. This is sort of an odd, there's a lot of the White Barn candles have really odd colors. Not that it's bad, but it's just kind of weird. It's more of like a really, really drab dark olive or sort of like a brown with gray hues to it. It's a really odd color. I don't mind it. It's just something I've never seen before in their wax. And of course, if you know Fireside, it is probably the heaviest scent that they make. With all of the, cedar wood and the New Forest collection coming out, and your Marshmallow Fireside, everything that has sort of the woods in it. This is the ultimate. It's heavy. It's thick. It smells like leather. I almost would say tobacco, like I like to say a library. I think that Mahogany Teakwood, they may have said something like that on the scent description this year for that candle. But it really just is like a dark, heavy, big puffy red leather chairs with a fire and wine and just really, really. This one is super, super evokes. I think like pictures in my head where some of the scents you get a feeling or an emotion, some of them just you get, oh wow, that's a donut. This one really paints an entire picture for me that really can be transported to it with the scent, which is one of the things I love about home fragrance. But it's just, oh man, it's heavy, but it's not cloying. It's not artificial in the way that some scents can be. Usually a super strong scent just seems really fake or heavy or just overwhelming, whereas this, it is very, very strong and it can overwhelm. It can, the throw on this can really fill the room or when where you're burning it. But that being said, it's fantastic. You can't go wrong with it. This is something I usually wait till it's a little bit colder to burn. On a day like today, right now I'm recording this on Sunday morning. I would burn something more like autumn or cedarwood oak or maybe something a little bit more bakery, an apple crumble or something. Whereas this Fireside is totally, for me, an evening, something that's darker, setting the mood more for relaxing sort of winter night than a Sunday morning with your coffee. But it's really a fantastic scent. It smells a tiny bit maybe muted over last year's release for me, as if it's a little bit less intense. But I think that's probably just how I'm smelling it right now. I don't think it has anything to do with the formulation of the candle. The wax, it's a very smooth wax. They seem to be playing around with their formulations, but I'm sure it'll burn perfectly fine. So really great scent. That's a must purchase every year, and I'll probably end up getting another one of those before the season is out. Another must purchase for me over the past couple of years is Frosted Cranberry. For me, this one, this actually falls under in my last video when I was talking about the different collections, this falls in the Snow Day collection. So that vanilla snowflake that I showed you is in the same collection. And this one it's a photo of a red mailbox. Let's get some better lighting. There we go. a red mailbox filled with packages, a little sprig of pine, pine needles or little whatever pine branch on there, with the snow falling down, a bright red wax. This is interesting for me that they're doing Foster Cranberry this way, just because in the past it's been a nice dark cranberry colored wax, and it has looked more winter in the image. It's been, cranberries with a little bit of frost on them and, just an outdoor setting, whereas this makes it look a little more holiday, since they're showing the red and the green and the packages and the, Christmas cards in the box kind of thing, which surprised me because, to me, frosted cranberry, I will certainly burn it, November, December, January, even into February if it's cold enough, but it was much more of a true winter scent, where there are some scents that after Christmas I really won't burn because, you've got some scents that are truly Christmassy and some scents that are winter that can be from November, December through right until you're starting to burn your spring, what I would consider spring transitional scents. And for me, frosted cranberry was one of those perfect January, February scents because it was still winter, but it wasn't holiday, and it could go late into winter season before you're almost transitioning into your light spring scents. It would be one of the last ones I would put away. So it's kind of odd that they went that route with the lid there, or with the packaging. But either way, I still like it. The notes on it are: the deep red cranberries of winter shine in this fragrant blend of pink currant, vanilla, and red apple. I believe these notes are quite different than we've seen in the past. I've never heard them say pink currant. I'm not even sure we've seen apple or vanilla in there, but I think they've always said frosted cranberries and something else. But that being said, whatever, it's still the same scent that we know, so it doesn't really matter what they call it. And it's just so great. It's a true cranberry scent. The thing I love about it is that there's no spice to it. So often, cranberry, you get a cranberry cider, you get cranberry and clove, you get cranberry and cinnamon and nutmeg, and just, cranberry is in many holiday candles as a fruity or juicy note, or, to bring in that sort of heavier feel of sweet. But in this one, it's really just the cranberry. It does have an odd sort of iced feel to it. The vanilla that's in there is in the background. It's a light vanilla. I wouldn't have even picked it out, really, because it's not at all. I would never think of vanilla being in here. That's not a forward note. Something that I've always smelled in the frosted cranberry that may just be my nose, but I've smelled it. I smell this all the time, so it's not just something today, that I think is interesting is there's something in here that almost reminds me of tomatoes. Not the way that the tomato garden candle from last year, the test scent, smelled, but if you ever have had like an actual tomato plant growing, or if you buy on the vine tomatoes and you bring them home, and if your fingers touch the stem or leaves of the tomato plant, and then you smell your fingers, and it's sort of that almost kind of herbal or astringent kind of resiny kind of scent that kind of sticks to your fingers a little bit, almost like it's a little bit sticky. That sort of tomato leaf scent, I get that feeling from frosted cranberry, which hopefully you'll smell it and you'll see what I'm talking about, and I won't sound crazy, because that's completely what I get from this. I don't think tomatoes, but I think, there's that little sort of herbal green note to it. And that's what that smells like to me. So to me, there's more of sort of a green herbal to this than a vanilla or pink currant. I'm not even sure what a pink currant smells like. I could see if they were doing like black currants with the cranberry, a little bit of the winter sort of darker, berry scent. Either way, it's really a fantastic scent. Very unique, very Slatkin. To me, it's one of their signature winter scents. So really, really great stuff with that. So those are those three. Then we've got Sweater Weather, which, see my past videos, this is, I think, main appearance now. It's third time in the past 3 videos, because it's such a fantastic, heavy, fresh scent of juniper berries, eucalyptus, and sage. Can't get enough of it, and since it seems to be maybe going away, I wanted to stock up and get a couple of them, because really, when it comes down to, $6 or $7 a candle with the coupons and discounts, I didn't want to miss out on something that, I would burn this. Hopefully these couple of candles would last me easily this season and next year, because I really love it. Moving on from there, we've got Pumpkin Carving, which was the free candle with purchase, I was quite impressed that they were giving away, spend $10 and you get a $10 value candle. Granted, we don't often pay $10 for this candle. The only time I usually will purchase the 4-ounce candles is when they are 2 for $10. Then I use a survey coupon. Get 6 of them, and it's 6 for $20. So that ends up being a really good deal, just a couple dollars a piece. Excuse me. But with pumpkin carving, they were giving it away, which is impressive. Last year when they had a fall fragrance event, they gave away 3 of the mini candles, the little 1 point something ounces, the 1.3 ounce, I think. And they gave away candied sugar plum, frosted gingerbread, and marshmallow peppermint, which is still a nice value. It was still, I think, at that time a $5 value when they were 3 for $5 back then. But this, again, a $10 value, 4-ounce candle, glass jar with the metal lid here. That's a really fantastic value, or a fantastic free gift. And additionally, it wasn't just any candle, it is pumpkin carving, which we now know as the repackage of Pumpkin Patch, which was my favorite pumpkin scent and probably top 5 of all fall scents for me. So I was really bummed that it didn't make it back wide this year, or outside of this, this release of it. The notes on it are a blend of fresh pumpkin, brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Tells the tale of bringing home the perfect pumpkin, which I agree, the perfect pumpkin is what this is. Really nice photo on this. I really love how they did so many of the candles this fall with the labels there. I think that's really nice. And this it's so different than your sweet cinnamon pumpkin. Sweet cinnamon pumpkin, now, granted, I purchase it, I burn it, but it's so... it's almost perfumey. I think it's one of those scents where it's nice, but it doesn't smell exactly. It doesn't smell like truly pumpkin pie to me, or like a pumpkin baked good, and it doesn't really smell like pumpkins. It's certainly a fall scent with its heavy, heavy cinnamon and sort of the pumpkin that's there, and maybe the vanilla that's in there. But to me, it smells like its own sort of scent, almost a conceptual thing. The way that Snowed In smells like Snowed In, or the way that Sweater Weather smells like Sweater Weather. Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin smells like the Bath & Body Works Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin scent, as opposed to cinnamon and pumpkins, where for me, pumpkin carving really smells more like pumpkins with a little bit of spice to it. It's more of an accurate representation. Granted, no one really wants a candle that's going to smell like this is going to smell when you cut this thing open, even if you were to roast it. People don't want that smell. It's a squash, it's a vegetable, I believe, or is it a fruit? I think it's a fruit, right? It has seeds inside, so gourds, I believe, are fruits. Yes, I believe this is actually, yeah, I think this is a fruit. Anyhow, no one really wants to smell that on its own, so, being honest, of course. I'm a little weird. I might actually find that interesting to have a really super basic sort of squash scent, or gourds. Gourds and something would be a kind of a cool test scent. But anyhow, that's more what pumpkin carving or pumpkin patch was to me. You definitely have a little bit of spice to make this sort of a pumpkin pie-ish thing. There's a little bit of vanilla in there. It's not heavy on vanilla. A little bit of nutmeg, but the spices are there to complement the main notes, not to be the main notes. Which I love herbal. I love spiced things. I love heavy scents that are unique. But sometimes I think going with just spices as a main note sometimes will be taking the easy way out, because they are so overpowering and will be the main scent that you're really getting from the candle. Whereas this, I think they blended it just fantastically and perfectly. It really smells more like a warm pumpkin, a warm fall, a warm sort of harvesty. More similar to Yankee has some really fantastic fall scents. I don't purchase a lot of them. Just every once in a while, some votives or some tarts, which I don't really even end up burning them much. But Yankee has some really great scents, such as Harvest, which is sort of, I've considered pumpkin carving or pumpkin patch to be Bath & Body Works' version, not a dupe of that Harvest, but they're sort of, fits the same bucket as that. So you definitely get some of the spices, some of the vanilla. It's interesting, I looked at my label to last year's pumpkin patch, and while this one calls out vanilla, the other one had, I think it was butter listed instead of vanilla. So this actually seems more like ingredients to a pumpkin pie, somewhat more than the sweet cinnamon pumpkin, which is more of the pumpkin pie scented candle. Anyhow, I could go on forever talking about the pumpkin carving, but it's really a great candle. Apparently, some or just one of the test stores had them in a 3-wick version, but I checked on it and they were sold out and doubtful that they'll get more. So looks like that was a hit or miss one-time thing and it's gone, which it is what it is. We've got my other pumpkin. Let's move that back over here. Quickly touch on Cedarwood Oak. just because it's here. This is the second one I've purchased of this. You can see the in-depth review in my past videos. Really a nice test scent. Again, this is one where I also think this probably won't be making it wide because within the next month they've got to start throwing the winter and Christmas holiday scents to all stores. So I'd be surprised if this one makes it out there. But hey, I mean, in 2 weeks, all stores could get Sweater Weather and Cedarwood Oak in, and I could be totally wrong. So we'll see. Just so you know, Sun Devil Grove, Late Blooming Autumn Trees, Crisp Lemon, Amber, Cedar, Oak, Apple, Blossoms Drifting in the Air. You can see my full review in my past few videos. It's just a really nice, slightly powdery, almost a little musky, but really bright, woodsier version of autumn for me, which I love. Like a really daytime bright scent. Really, yeah, it's great. So moving on to the other returning favorite is Evergreen, and this also falls in the, let's get some good light here. There we go, that's nice. Okay, this falls in the Snow Day collection as well, the Slatkin & Co. Snow Day collection with Frosted Cranberry, Twisted Peppermint. I think Winter might be there when it is released. Vanilla Snowflake, 'Tis the Season, that kind of thing. So that is that, a nice green wax. Now Evergreen, a few years ago I purchased Fresh Balsam and Frosted Tree and passed up Evergreen. But last year I tried it again and really loved it. And I actually think I'm liking this more than Fresh Balsam. Fresh Balsam is a true, very intense, astringent balsam that is good for winter. Evergreen is a little bit more December holidays for me. The notes on it, which change a lot. There was one that I read of this that included something about like a wild mint in Evergreen for Slatkin & Co. But the notes here say, the festive scent of fir needles, winter pine, and a touch of white birch is a true winter celebration. Couldn't agree more. Love the label. Look at that. People were sort of just having their snow day in the snow with the snow-touched evergreen trees. And smelling that, oh, wow, look at that. It is a bright, sunny day. You can see the clouds in the reflection there. Oh, it's very classic holiday tree. Whereas Fresh Balsam is a true balsam, sort of, to me, it's the woodsier, what am I trying to say, like the true, like, it smells more specific, like they're trying to make it smell like balsam. This is more of a blend of something. You wouldn't find this exact scent in nature, but it's a blend of the best of evergreen and pines. At the same time, it smells so Christmassy to me. Now, I'll burn this all winter because it's a lovely scent, but this one really seems more like a Christmas tree scent to me than your Fresh Balsam, or in years past they had Frosted Tree and Tree. There's a little, just something that seems old worldy to me about this. Again, I mentioned in one of my videos a while back something about when I was young I had like a little scratch and sniff Christmas book that I think was probably, maybe it was even my mom's, back in the 60s or something. And there's scratch and sniff for the evergreen tree. There's probably scratch and sniff cocoa or something. There's a little Santa that has a little almost like a cotton ball kind of beard, like a children's, young child's book for Christmas. And this is what it reminds me of a lot, the true evergreen scent. Just really classic, without being artificial. It's outdoorsy. It is woodsy, but of course the notes are on the different pines. An accurate representation of them while being blended to be something very unique and standing on its own. I don't think you can find this sort of evergreen, smelling other candles from other lines. I don't think you're going to get the same sort of blend of evergreen. So really, really great. Can't wait to start burning that one sometime, hopefully, I guess, probably not until November, but it will be a good one. So again, just a quick overview. As I get the candles of the various fall one or Christmas and holiday ones, even if they're returning favorites, since I have not reviewed them for you in the past, I'll probably just do it like this. I might not have one major video of all of the holiday or all of the winter. I'm thinking about, actually, I wonder if you guys could give me some feedback on it, of doing, aside from just doing sort of the test scent or the big review videos, I was thinking of maybe doing, as opposed to winter picks or holiday picks or fall picks, just because it's hard to choose a favorite, and since I purchased so many of them, certainly not all of them, but many of them, I feel like it would just be sort of a collection video of these are all the fall scents that I purchased, which are, probably 50 or 60% of the fall candles I probably purchased, from the line. With that, I was thinking, should I do a a video that is all of the pumpkin candles, another video that is all of the apple scents. You know, come holiday time, it could be all of the cinnamon scents, you know, all the spice scents, all of the pine scents, things like that. I've considered it, but I don't want it to be too repetitive because, again, I said in the beginning that I wanted my videos to be more informational and educational as opposed to just presentational. Oh, here's what I bought, here's what here's what it cost, this is what I think. Which, of course, something like this is somewhat just presentational since, you know, you may have smelled most of these scents before or you've heard me talk about them if you haven't. But I wanted to try to be helpful for folks who may not be near a store and have to order them, or just if you are like me and like hearing what other people think about them to see if you can smell it yourself in your scents or in your candles. So I'd appreciate some feedback what you guys would like to see as far as that, whether you want me to just keep going with the as I get them, I'll tell you what I think, or if you'd like to see more sort of specific, you know, picks videos or more in-depth with all of the pumpkins or in-depth with all of the apple or in-depth with all of the spice, kind of, you know, that thing. Or if you have another idea for videos aside from just the purchase and review videos, please do let me know. I guess that's about it for today. Again, this is just the purchase from the Bath & Body Works fall event. Frosted Cranberry, Fireside, Blueberry Pumpkin Patch, Pumpkin Carvings, Sweater Weather, Cedarwood Oak, and Evergreen Candle. That's it for now. The next video may be something, if you have a specific suggestion based on what I'm talking about now. Beyond that, look out for the Forest collection coming again probably in about a week or so when I get those. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. Take care.